I'm Victor Tan, and I'm a visual artist, and I draw my ideas using wire in the air. As I draw in the air, the wire line came into effect like drawings and has the effect of a three-dimensional sculpture, like carving out the space. So I like the dual effect of a wire. For this MFT project that I'm embarking on with these two cats, Miao and Marble, were created for a show called The Journey of Love. The idea came about at a time when I was contemplating on the idea of love. We grow through our life in a journey that we walk past things and never ponder, never look at, never see things around us. We do have a lot of stray cats around and can't be bothered much about them. But in fact, they have emotions, they have feelings, they have their fear too. I found there were people who are out there to rescue, to foster and to adopt the cat. And each cat has its story to tell. I decided to bring up not just the story about cats, but the relationship between the cats and the adopter.
My name is Jasmine and this is my cat, Miao. 2 years ago, I was having very bad anxiety and followed by depression. I was staying at home for a couple of months. It was very isolating. It was difficult for me to be around people. So I think a pet would be a good idea. I'll go SPCA and have a look. At that time, they didn't have dog breeds that are HDB approved. The dog option was out. So I went to take a look at the cats. I had that mentality that cats are very scary, very fierce, like they will jump around and scratch or attack people. Because of what I went through at that time, I had a very reflective moment and it kind of changed my perspective. So I decided to give it a shot. When I carried her, she was totally clinging onto my arm. It melted my heart. So cute!
I'm Macy and this is my cat Marble. I was walking home and it was really dark at night. And then all of a sudden, right, this really dirty stray cat came and she was like meowing and she looked like she was starving. At that time we had another cat and we had a bit of cat pellets there, so I took out a small handful of pellets and I just put it on the floor and let her eat. She kept coming back day after day. In the end she won our hearts and she became our house cat.
I had 3 days to consider if I want to adopt her. So for that 3 days, I went SPCA every day for her to get to know me, get used to me before I bring her home.
She was actually covered with a lot of wounds and bruises and her ears actually had a bit of issues with the fur. We applied a bit of antibiotics on it. We also brought her to the vet to get her dewormed and cleaned up properly.
Next problem would be her eye infection. It was very scary to apply eye cream onto her inner eyelid. It's like touching her eyeball. It was very difficult for me because I don't have experience with cats with an injury. My thought was that, okay, for her well-being, I need to do it.
After that, we just started her on a journey of getting her healed and restored.
It was a relatable moment with what I was going through at that time, like doing what is needed to get better.
When we cleaned her up and we got her healed and everything, we realized that she's actually this really beautiful cat. They call it a Burmese short tail. Her fur was actually white with black stripes and her eyes were actually blue in colour, which we couldn't see at night previously.
I see fighting spirits and resilience in Miao. If you look at the way she moves around, you can't tell that she's blind in one eye.
There was just this charm about her, despite all the imperfections that she had when she came in. It was just very heartening to see her grow into this beautiful, wholesome cat.
I decided to call out for volunteers to have a chance to touch and model the cats.
He asked about it, I was like, okay, why not? Just let Marble, give a shot and try.
It's like as though he's weaving and creating life.
He really did a very fantastic job at the exhibition. He had this really beautiful setup with the lights being cast on the sculptures to form a shadow while the cats were being placed on the wall. And it was just really amazing.
It was like a standstill moment at a magical place.
Victor really took the effort to decide the position of where the cat should be placed.
It's not just a cat standing. Some of them had one arm raising and they were positioned in a place as though they were playing with each other or playing with something.
For this MFT project, the two cat sculpture will be transferred to digital format. What we wanted to show this time around is a life of the sculpture that goes on in the digital world. And it comes more alive when we added on some of this animation to create the possibility of imagination for not just the artist alone, but also for the audience to see. The artwork would not just be localized, but rather it will be in the digital gallery. Art is about sharing. We can't stop sharing art from just one location. But NFT allows the extension of that sharing element with the wider audience and a different format and different possibility as well, and showing arts in a different dimension also. I think it's full of potential and possibility that no one can understand or even imagine. In order to tell such story, for artists, our art medium is a tool, a language that we tell so that people around can see, hear, or know about it. Hopefully, the next time when they encounter a cat, they will not just pass them by. Probably this cat needs help, they can call the rescuer, and they can find out someone to adopt and take care of the cat. It's not just about the cat also. If we care for the cat, we might also care for the next person. For this COVID-19, a lot of people are being shut down, closed up in their own personal space. And they have no one to express their thoughts through or even come out and release their inner sadness. There may be someone out there in need, and we can look out for them and probably help them or get them connected to someone who can. I hope my work is able to express the kind of universal love and allow the audience to experience the humanness of life that God has created us